share my screen, and then you'll see the slides that we're going to go through. So Get Online Week, 15th to the 21st of October, so about 2.5 weeks, so not long at all, but it's definitely not too late for you to start putting new things in place. So first of all, what's all the fuss about Get Online Week? So hopefully a lot of you know this already, and hopefully Evie will agree that this is the case. But Get Online Week, we think, is a really good opportunity for you to raise the profile of your organisation locally and raise the profile of your digital inclusion work. So just making more people know about the digital skills support that you provide locally as much as possible. And as such, hopefully helps you recruit new learners, helps you get new people through the door who maybe didn't know about the help that you provide before Get Online Week. We also think it's a really good opportunity to work with new partners. Maybe you invite people from your local job centre or local libraries or anyone like that to your new events, making sure that people know that you're out there, that you're doing great work, that you're there to help people get online. And a lot of centres also really use it as a nice way to celebrate their achievements, to celebrate their learners, and to make a bit of a fuss about the people that come to their classes or come to their sessions week in, week out, and really recognise the progress they've made in improving their skills, hopefully. So just getting into the stuff that I know a lot of you are really interested in, this year there will be Get Online Week marketing packs going out to centres. If you've not had them, then you should be receiving them anytime, really. That we know, we've seen on Twitter that they're landing on people's doorsteps and they're posting photos of them, which is fantastic. So please do the same once your marketing packs come through. Let us know, tweet pictures, put them on Facebook, let us see how they're being used out in the community. If you've not seen yours yet, this is what this year's marketing materials look like. So the 6 on the left are posters. There's both A3 and A4 posters. There's a big A2 stand that you can use on reception desks or street marketing signs or desks if you're out and about in a new venue, an outreach venue. If you're in a supermarket or a library where you don't usually hold your sessions, then it's a great way to sort of brand yourself and to show that Get Online Week is happening there. There's also a big pile of A2 leaflets with a blank space on the back, so you can put details of your events and then start handing those out and doing a leaflet drop through letterboxes or putting them on reception desks, etc. And then there's a pack of top tips, sort of handouts that you can give to people who are coming to your sessions with some great hints and tips on how they could try one thing for Get Online Week, talking about health, shopping, staying safe, just giving some people who are less confident with being online ideas on how they can take their skills further. Evie, I'm going to hand over to you very briefly, if that's all right, just to say you've had these packs in the past and hopefully they've been really useful for you. So I just wondered if it'd be helpful for you to say how you've used them in the past, where you've used them, and how you've used the marketing materials to promote your campaign event.
Yes, of course. I think we are very lucky to have the Get Online Week just after the national campaign of the Macmillan Coffee Morning. So, as I like helping this charity, I also go to the coffee mornings as many as I can in my local community and dropping off these leaflets with the dates of the events I'm going to run. So, in this way, I can engage with new people and, have a chat because it's very informal. And there are so many Macmillan Coffee Mornings happening this week and next week. And I'm sure all of us here have heard about. And I think it's a good opportunity to, jump into their boat and help have a piece of cake and do our work as well.
That's fantastic. That's a really great idea, Evie. That's a new one for me, actually, using other campaigns and other events that are happening locally and taking part in them, but also using it as an opportunity to spread the word about Get Online Week. That's fantastic.
And there is
And
always
the
the,
post.
sorry.
No, you go ahead, Evie. Sorry.
There are always like the usual things that we do, which is put these leaflets in the schools, like again, local schools, when they allowed, most schools allowed us to put in their bags, like the kids' bags, so all the families get involved. Put in the libraries and also put in shops. Some of our shops charge us to put on their windows, but it's not much. It's like a pound sometimes or £2 to display for a week. I know Tesco and McDonald's let us do for free in their community board, and so does Asda.
Fantastic, that's great. Yeah, so the posters, the A3 and O post, A4 posters have got that empty space at the bottom where you can put the specific details of your events, where and when your Get Online Week events are happening. So they're perfect for the notice boards in supermarkets or Starbucks or corner shops, post offices, etc. So yeah, as Evie says, get out and about. The other thing to say about this year's marketing packs is there will be some of those sort of merchandising items. So I've listed them here: badges, balloons, pens, earphones, tote bags. But even better, let's take a look at them. So these are just some extra little fun additions to the packs that hopefully make your events feel a bit more celebratory. You can use the balloons, obviously, to decorate your events and make it feel like a bit of a party. The pens, the little triangular shape or little packs of earphones. So they're great for little giveaways. If you want to have like a little sweepstake or you have little competitions, the same with the bags. They're cotton tote bags. They're quite big. They're quite sturdy. They're a great little sort of present to give away to someone if you're having like a little competition during your event, for example. And then the badges are for your volunteers or for your digital champions, just so if somebody's turning up to your event and maybe is a bit nervous about getting started, they know there's a friendly face there that they can ask for a bit of support. The
Oh,
big
this
square
is
frame that you can see around the balloons is, we're calling it a selfie frame. So it's basically a big tool for social media. So you can spread the word about your events across Twitter and Facebook, let people locally know that's what's going on, but also let us know that you're sort of getting stuck into Get Online Week. And it's a great way that you can just use it as a frame in pictures on sort of Twitter and Facebook, and maybe frame some of the learners who are trying one thing in your event, just to say this is Mary and she's doing her first online shop for Get Online Week, and it really make a bit of a way to make a bit of a fuss about your new learners and about the people who are trying one thing during Get Online Week. Evie, are these the sort of things that have been useful for you before?
Oh yes, and they're new. I like the bags, and the pens are always very, very welcome by everybody. I don't know if it's the right time, but what I do as well, doing any sales that I can buy a very cheap tablet. Normally, I buy a Amazon Fire for like £30, £35, um, and I put a price draw. So everybody that attends the event that we run, they get to put into a price draw. And obviously, the forms that we use, we ask them if they would like to know more information about the courses that we run and the things we do. And that way, we have like a list of contacts and potential new learners for our groups. And everybody gets very happy when, to be taking part of the price draw. I've done with chocolate before, and I tell you what, it was very successful too. So chocolates and tablets, I guess they go together.
And that's a really good point, actually, about making sure that if you are getting loads of people who maybe not, they're popping into a Get Online Week event and they're saying hello, but you're not spending loads of time with them, taking the opportunity to get their contact details so you can get in touch with um, them after the fact and invite them to a regular session. I've just seen underneath that Phil's asked a really good question about there being a contact at Lloyds Bank. So yeah, Lloyds Bank, if you're in England, or Halifax in Northern Ireland, or the Bank of Scotland in Scotland, Lloyds Bank in Wales as well, they're our key sponsors. They're all part of the same banking group and they're part of our key sponsors for the campaign. At a branch level, it really varies from branch to branch how engaged they are with the campaign, how much they've even heard of the campaign. but a lot of Lloyd's and Bank of Scotland and Halifax branches across the country have got dedicated digital champions who are really engaged with helping people get online, and they're a really good source of like support or volunteers, or even a really good place for you to maybe take some leaflets and ask them whether you can put some leaflets in a branch and get encourage them to talk to their customers about Get Online Week. And do invite the staff along, let them know what's going on, let them know that Lloyd's is sponsoring the campaign and you'd love to see them there helping out. As I say, it varies quite a lot from branch to branch how much they're going to be informed about it, but it's definitely worth popping in and giving it a go.
And I think it's very important that you pop in and show your face instead of just in an email, telephone. Um, do it face to face because there is a big difference. We are very lucky. Our local branch, they already been volunteering in our classes, and they also gave us some pens and some rubbers and some, some of their stuff so we could give away. I even bribed them to bring some biscuits for some of the sessions, and they did, from some of the Get Online Week. And it was very great because they want to publicize their online banking as well. So it was very good. But like I said, you must do a face to face and, make that contact with them.
That's really great advice. I think, yeah, making sure that they know that there's sort of a real person and something real happening, and it's not just sort of, yeah, that email, that face-to-face relationship building is really important. Absolutely agree with that. And that takes us on to the next slide, really, and about getting out there and making people know about what's going on. I won't go into huge amounts of detail about this, but just to say that it's absolutely now the right time to start getting in touch with your local newspapers, your local radio stations, inviting VIPs, whether it's a councillor or your mayor or even your local MP to these events. And it can feel quite daunting if you've not done it before, or if it's not something that you're familiar with, but we've provided some templates on the Get Online Week website. So if you go over to the UK area of the site, and you'll see that there's resources for making your events go with a splash. And included in there are template invitations, template press releases that all you need to do is swap out some specific information about your organisation and your events, and then you can send those straight out to your, as I say, the local council, the mayor's office, the MP's office, or local newspaper and radio stations to try and generate some interest and get them talking about your Get Online Week events as much as possible.
I wonder if anybody here in our group has already contacted any of your local press, and if so, what response did you have it?
Yeah, it'd be great to hear about that. Is it something that you've tried yet, Evie? Is it something that you've had much success with in the past?
Sometimes they do a very good cover, depending what's going on in town, I guess. If there are many things going on, they come and cover for free. Sometimes they charge. Every year depends of who I talk to. I like to use before, so to attract people, but they normally like to do a after report, and show the pictures and things like that. But like I said, some of the newspapers will charge. I wonder if anybody in our group had any different experience, and they have already contacted anybody there they would like to share. You could write in the panel if you have already started contacting your press.
And even if you've had like less positive experiences where you've been frustrated about like reaching out to people and you don't hear back from them, that's useful as well, because we can always there are different ways that you can try and approach people where you might have a bit more success than at other times.
Yeah, our mayor, he always turns up to ours. It's just send the VIP. I always use your invite VIPs template, which
Oh,
save my
fantastic.
English. And that's what I send off for them. I try to invite some celebrities, but they weren't very, responsive.
Yeah. And it's a great way to sort of build a new relationship with your MP or with your local mayor. So even if they can't make it for this Get Online Week, you can invite them to a different event in the future. And the more you invite them to, and the more they have to say no, the more guilty they feel. So the more likely they're to come next time.
Exactly.
The other thing about in terms of like making a noise about your campaign is social media. And I know it's oh, Alison's just made a point actually. That's a really good point in terms of inviting people, external people to your event, and that's about inviting people from the job centre. And that can be a really valuable relationship just in terms of them referring new people who come into the job centre, need to use the internet to find work, don't know where to start. And if you want to build up that signposting relationship, then that can be really, really positive. And it can just a really positive relationship with your job centre can be really productive in helping you help each other, and often they'll have additional resources. Occasionally, I'm not sure what the status is at the moment, but they often had grants for local training that they could provide. So that job centre relationship can be really, really valuable.
What we've done with job
So
centers as well to involve them was when I have students that complete their sitting guilds or they complete a course, we wait to give the certificate during the Get Online Week to celebrate their success, and we ask people from the job center to hand the certificates, so they kind of feel important as well, and and it's good for the students, it's good for everybody. So if anyone has any certificates or any achievement that you want to celebrate, maybe you could invite those people to hand the certificates, and maybe the VIPs, or local job centers.
that's really good. That's a really good point. Like if you are inviting people from the job centre or any VIPs, having something specific that you're asking them to do, like giving out certificates, is really nice. It gives them something that they understand and that they can sort of grab onto and feel like they're really making a contribution. So that's a really, really great idea. And then, especially if you've got VIPs attending, then social media opportunities open right up. So they love your MPs, your councillors, your mayors. They'll love being seen to be out and about in the local community. So if you can get some pictures of staff and learners with those VIPs and throwing them up on Twitter or on Facebook or Instagram even, then that's a really great way to, again, raise the profile of your centre, get people talking about your Get Online Week event online, and spread the word, because it's very much not just about Get Online Week, it's about the effect Get Online Week has on your organisation after the week and about that profile raising work. With social media, we just say please use the hashtag try one thing as much as possible, because Get Online Week is all about getting people to just try one new thing online as a first step to improving their skills. And hashtags do work across Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. A lot of people think it's just a Twitter thing, hashtags, but they do work. You can use hashtags to search on Facebook and Instagram as well. Please do tag at Get Online Week in your tweets, just so that we get notified and we can see exactly what's going on as much as possible, and then we can share it and retweet it and make sure that it's going as wide as possible. And then the selfie board or the selfie frame that I showed you earlier, then please do use that. We hope they're really sort of fun, engaging way that will to make social media easier for people and easier for organizations that maybe are not quite sure how to get started on social media. It's just really easy to frame your volunteers or frame your new learners and just say that you're celebrating Get Online Weekend, that you're all going to try one thing. And I've said it's not just for fun. And what I mean by that is social media it's really useful in raising your profile, and it can sometimes feel a bit like it doesn't make loads of sense to use social media to try and reach people who aren't comfortable using the internet. But there's a couple of things there where I know lots and lots of people, my parents, my friends' parents, who use Facebook loads, but would never in a million years dream of banking online or shopping online. They just don't have the confidence. So you can reach people through social media who want help taking the next step of getting online. And also, it's a way of reaching people who know somebody else who might want some help. So a key message for Get Online Week, as well as being try one thing and get online, it's if you know somebody who could benefit from doing more online, then bring them along to a Get Online Week event, and we can help them get started.
And I think the try one thing, probably for our type of learners, will be to post a picture of themselves in one of the social medias, because they probably have never done that before.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. For many people, wanting to get on Facebook and do more, like you learn how to use Facebook to keep in touch with family, or whatever, that will be their try one thing. So as Evie says, posting a picture is a perfect one thing to try. Yeah, absolutely. So here are just a few things to think about doing during the event itself. So obviously you're going to have the activities. It's good to ahead of time to think a bit about the activities that you are going to carry out. I'm actually going to skip right ahead to the last bullet point on this page when we're talking about activities, because there's lots of different things you can do, and you deliver digital skills every day in your centre, so you know better than me probably different things you can do, different little taster activities. But one of the things I wanted to raise the profile to tell you about now that we haven't quite launched yet is that this year there's going to be a brand new Get Online Week game. And this is it. It's Digital Dash. I'm not sure how well it'll work screen sharing, but I'll just show you very quickly, and we'll be launching this hopefully next week. It's a very... I'll just turn the music off. But it's a very fun, easy, simple game that hopefully builds the skills of anybody not comfortable using a keyboard or a touchscreen device. It works on tablets as well. And then, as you can see from that little animation, it also highlights some of the benefits of getting online. So streaming, so if people, hopefully it's raising the awareness of some of the different benefits of getting online, like streaming video or doing their shopping. I'll see what the next one is, and then I'll let you have a play yourselves after the webinar. Video chat, that's another one. So they don't have to register to play the game. It's a one simple control, just a space bar to jump, and then it runs on its own, or you just tap the screen if you're using a tablet. And we think it's just a really fun way to sit somebody down and say, have a play on this, just to get them engaging with technology, get them to using a tablet, getting them a bit more familiar and a bit more comfortable with technology in general, and then hopefully raising the awareness by stealth of some of the benefits of getting online. So there are loads of different ways that you could use the game. You could run a competition in the centre for high scores. You could give away some of the pens and some of the earphones to people who get the best scores. You could get people to play the game and then ask them to choose one of those little animated achievements that feature in the game, if they want to choose one of those things to try while they're at the session. And hopefully it's just a fun way to make your Get Online Week event feel a little less like a regular digital skills session, and just feels like a bit more of a celebration and gives it a bit more of a party sort of atmosphere. And it does works on all devices. It works on desktops and laptops and tablets and phones. And I think the main thing is probably you guys will want to have a play around with it ahead of time and figure out how you want to use it during your sessions and see which parts of your audience it feels appropriate for. But that's one of the things that we hope people will really start using during Get Online Week, and just have a bit of fun with it and make Get Online Week sort of a really fun session, and not just sort of, it doesn't have to all be about learning and, oh, you've got to get online because it saves you money. It's just something fun that will sort of lighten the atmosphere up a bit. And then there's lots of other things you can do. You can get refreshments, just biscuits and tea and some soft drinks. Automatically will make it feel like a bit more of a relaxed sort of party atmosphere. And as Evie said earlier, getting people's details to use after the event is really, really key to make sure that Get Online Week has that longevity and keeps working for your organisation after the campaign itself. And then again, we've talked about it with social media, but do get pictures. You don't have to post all your pictures on social media. There can just be a record of the activity that's going on in your centre if you want to put them up on a notice board after the event or anything like that, or you just share them on your own website. But do try to get pictures to make sure you've got a record of how successful, hopefully, that your Get Online Week event has been. Thanks a lot, Joe. No worries, I understand we're just about to hit the half-an-hour point, and we've not got loads more to say, but thanks very much for joining. Evie, is there anything else you want to add for just in terms of what people want to think about actually during the events themselves?
Oh, I do think like some of my learners, they do like baking, so I ask them to bring some, some cakes, and they bring some of the things they
just
make,
have a quick look.
But is there any questions that you
The
want
last
to
slide, and yeah, there's just one more slide that will cover some of the things you can think about after the event. But if anybody has got any other questions now, you want to throw into the chat panel about your event itself and the kind of things you could be doing during the event, then do pop them in the chat panel, and we can try and answer those questions while we're still on the session.
Or maybe you have already got an idea that we haven't.
Sure. I apologise. I'm talking over because I turned my volume off because the music for the game was playing and I couldn't hear what anybody was saying. I'm sorry, Evie. You go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was just saying you could maybe share some ideas with us that we haven't had yet. So maybe you have some ideas that you're gonna put in place for the next 2 weeks. Anything different that we haven't mentioned that you would like to share with us? It's a very quiet panel, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But we understand that you want to learn as much as possible as well. But we'd love to find out what you've got planned already. If there's anything that you're worried about, or anything that you're going to try for the first time this year, or if it's actually, I wonder for how many of you is it the first time that you've ever taken part in Get Online Week? We'll let you have a keep thinking about it for a minute, and then we can come to some questions right at the end. Maybe I think the last thing I wanted to say really on the slides was that after your event, there's lots of work you can do to make sure that Get Online Week keeps working for you. So if you've collected the details of the learners, like Evie said, you can do it as a prize draw. So you can say leave your name and phone number or an email address, and we'll get in touch if you win the tablet or the chocolates or whatever it is you manage to have. That's a really good way of being able to keep in touch with people. And then do get in touch with your local press afterwards if they've not been able to come to the event itself. If you've got photos, then local press are often looking for things to fill their pages with. So if you can say, this is fantastic, 50 people, 100 people, 10 people came to our event, and these are the pictures of us helping people to try one thing for Get Online Week, then that's a really great way to engage with local press afterwards. And then you can always have the details of your organisation attached to that, so people know if they've missed Get Online Week how to get in touch. And then finally, tell us how it went. Tag us in all your social media posts, send us any emails with feedback about the campaign itself. There will be a survey going around after the campaign that we'd really love everyone to fill out to know how it went for you and what we could do differently next time. So please do fill in the survey when you see that coming around. But yeah, they're the main things really. Just try to keep the momentum up after Get Online Week to make sure that it works as hard as possible for you after the campaign itself.
Another way that I just remember that I get people coming is if you contact your council and the community learning team or adult community, they might have different names. That you can give to the learners that attended the classes with the community learning. They normally like this type of events, and also WA. So I'm gonna write down on the pen so you have written down the names I'm saying.
Fantastic, thanks, Evie. Yeah, that's yeah. All councils will have like an adult learning department who can help you spread the word to the people they're already supporting, and yeah, WEA as well. I think is fantastic. Yep, perfect. Thank you, Evie. They're excellent tips. So yeah, that brings us to the end of like the formal slides, but we really do want to make sure this is useful for you. So if you've got any questions at all, or if you want to share some ideas of some of the things that you want to try this year and sound them out with the group, then people do add it to the chat panel. That'd be really great to hear some of your plans for Get Online Week. And really just sort of hope everything goes really smoothly and well for you locally, and hope Get Online Week is a massive success. I should say it's worth checking out. I've just seen Phil has said that they're working with local students to act as digital champions. See, that's exactly what we're looking for, Phil. Like that sort of idea, engaging with local colleges and local universities, especially if they've got like a teaching course on and they want to get some experience as well. But often students have got spare time for volunteering in their timetable, so that's a really, really great way to build up the amount of support you've got on hand for Get Online Week. Thanks, Phil. Yeah, that's a great idea. So between your regular team, perhaps students, maybe trying to engage with digital champions at Lloyds Bank. Hopefully, there is support out there if you're worried about not having enough people on hand for Get Online Week. And if you've got any other sort of requirements for Get Online Week, do check out the website first of all, because there's lots of, as well as the MP and VIP invitations and the press releases I talked about earlier, all of the Get Online Week posters and leaflets and handouts. If you need any more of those, you can download those from the website and print them out. You can download them and add your own details in before you print them out to make sure that you're not having to do loads of handwriting after you've printed stuff out. And as I say, the game will be launching on the website in the next week or so, in plenty of time ahead of the campaign itself, so you can give it a try and figure out how you might want to use that during the campaign itself. So thank you, everybody. I think if there's no further sort of questions or bits that anybody wants to mention, we can wrap it up. Evie, if you've got anything to add, we'd love to any more of your expert advice, please shout up. But otherwise, thank you everyone for attending. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Phil. And Joanne, I think, has gone. And everybody else who's on and has been on, thank you very much.
Good luck. And don't forget, Get Online Week finishes on that date, but you can also carry on a bit longer. I've done on Saturdays and Sundays as well. I know I'm very keen, but sometimes it works.
Absolutely, yeah. There's Get Online Week. We always say Get Online Week runs right through to Sunday, and we know most stuff happens during the week. But if you have Get Online Week events at the weekend, we'd love to hear about those. And there's certain people who are only going to be able to make the weekend, so yeah, definitely push it as much as you can. And good luck with your events. Yeah, good luck. Thank you, everyone.